students, and we should enter into physics now. The second chapter is that units and measurement. Already first chapter only the physics and physical phenomena, and here the second chapter actually the physics starts here. The second chapter is that units and measurement. What the units and measurement tells. And before that, you should be knowing about what is physics, physical phenomenon, and physical quantity. What is physics? What is physics? That you should be knowing first the physics. It is the branch of natural science dealing with the matter and energy. It deals with the matter and energy. You will be finding only matter and energy. Matter and energy. And what is that physical phenomenon? Physical phenomena are the things or happenings. The things or happenings, whatever you are finding around yourself. These are the physical phenomena. And these physical phenomena involve some quantities, that measurable quantities. Suppose to tell somebody is cycling on the road. A boy is cycling on the road. So this is the physical phenomenon. And the quantities involved in cycling is that the boy is covering the distance, he takes some time, the speed of the cycle. So all these quantities, what I told you, that time, distance and velocity, acceleration, these quantities are involved in that physical phenomenon, and it is describing completely the physical phenomenon. These quantities are called the physical quantities, and the things and happenings, whatever is around in yourself, are called the physical phenomenon. And physical quantities are the quantities involved in the physical phenomenon, and these quantities can be measured. The quantities which can be measured, so that you can tell the physical quantity, the quantities which can be measured. The important thing is that the quantity which is describing the physical phenomenon, that can be measured, the quantities which can be measured, and by which various physical phenomena can be explained and expressed in forms of law. That measuring quantity forms a law. Suppose if you talk about the force, whenever the boy is cycling on the road, he is applying the force, and that force is creating a law, that a law will be explaining that physical phenomenon. That is equal to F equal to mass into acceleration, m into a. F is the physical quantity, mass is also physical quantity, acceleration is a physical quantity. These physical quantities are involved, are connected each other, and explaining the physical phenomenon completely, the cycling on the road. So this is about the physical quantities. So physical quantities in physics, you will be finding many thousands of physical quantities which will explain the physical phenomenon, and also you can tell about the physics also. So these physical quantities are categorically of two types. One is the fundamental physical quantities, another is the derived physical quantities. What is that fundamental physical quantity? The quantity which can be defined by their own. They are defining by their own. They do not depend upon any other physical quantity to express themselves. So that quantities are called the fundamental quantities, or we tell it as the base quantities. Base. So that fundamental quantities we are having in physics, we are having 7 fundamental quantities. What are the 7 fundamental quantities? The 7 fundamental quantities are: 1 mass, length, time, temperature, luminous intensity, electric current, and amount of substance. These 7 quantities, these 7 fundamental quantities are the base quantities used in physics. Mass, length, time, you understand. Temperature is used in the heat and thermodynamics, and luminous intensity is the brightness or illumination, that part. And electric current, you know it, and amount of substance is used in atoms and nuclei. So there 7 fundamental quantities are the base fundamental quantities. And what are the derived physical quantities? The quantities which are derived from the fundamental quantities. By help of the fundamental quantities, we can find the derived physical quantities. the quantities, that quantities are called the derived physical quantities. For example, if we talk about the speed, speed is actually what category it is. If we talk about the speed, and you know that speed equal to distance upon time. Distance upon time, the distance equal to length, that is the length upon time. Length upon time, and this length is the fundamental quantities here you are getting, and time is also fundamental quantities you are getting. And if they are combining length and time, they are combining and finding one type of quantity, that speed is called the derived quantity. This is the derived quantities. Derived physical quantities. Derived physical quantities. These are the fundamental physical quantities. So by taking the help of the fundamental physical quantities, you can get the derived physical quantities. In the same manner also, we can do it another thing. If we talk about the force, if I take the force, so force equal to, if you take the force equal to, equal to mass into acceleration, and that is equal to mass into acceleration equal to that is the change in velocity upon the time, or you can tell the simply velocity upon time. And in third case, in third way, that is the mass multiplied with velocity. You can tell it as the length upon time, and another time is there, that is time square. So what you are getting, mass is the fundamental quantity, length is the fundamental quantity, time is the fundamental quantity. All three are the fundamental quantities. This is fundamental quantity, because these three are in this list: mass, length and time. And that force, whatever you are finding, this is the derived quantities. This is the derived quantities. Derived quantity, because the force, whatever you are obtaining by the help of these three fundamental quantities: mass, length, time. So force is the derived physical quantities. And in this way, you can get the many and many derived physical quantities, but the 7 fundamental quantities that we are having in physics only. By help of these 7 fundamental quantities, we can derive the many number of derived physical quantities in physics, and all the physical quantities will be related by the law of physics. The another thing is that, again, if you talk about the topic name is the units and measurement, you must be knowing that if you are knowing the physical quantities that should be measured, physical quantities should be measured. So that if that would be measured, so we require some unit. So unit, another term is coming. What is that unit here coming? The unit is the universal accepted standards. We are talking about unit. If we talk about the unit, we get it is the universal accepted standards. So if we talk about the measurement and unit. So what is that unit? Unit, it is the universal accepted standards. It is the universal accepted standards. What is that universal accepted standards? So you come to the measurement. What is measurement? What do you understand the meaning of the measurement? Measurement means, suppose if I tell that to please measure the length of a table without providing you any scale or any other thing. In which way you can measure the length of the table? So you have to compare the length of the table by help of a standard quantity, standard length. Suppose if you take that, if you select this is the standard length. So by help of this standard length, you can measure the length of the table. So what is the length of the table? The length of the table is 10 multiplied with this standard length. So you have to choose the standard length, and you have to compare that standard length by that standard length to the length of the table. The length of the table will be compared by help of that standard length. So what is that standard length? That is the selected, chosen or accepted standard. The accepted standard, the universal accepted standard, is called the unit. So accordingly, we are having the different units to compare the different physical quantities by help of the universal accepted standard. So for what? the fundamental quantities, because the derived quantities are related from the fundamental quantities. If you know the measuring effect of fundamental quantities, then you can measure the derived quantities. So similarly, suppose mass, the standard unit of that mass equal to 1 kilogram, and length, the standard unit of mass length equal to 1 meter, time, that is 1 second, and temperature, that is 1 Kelvin, luminous intensity, that is 1 candela, electric current, that is 1 ampere, and amount of substance equal to 1 mole. These are the standard units and which are universally accepted standard. If you know how to measure the fundamental quantities, and the same manner you can calculate, you can measure the derived quantities. We can measure the derived quantities, and these are the symbols. Kilogram, we write the kg, meter m, second s, Kelvin k, candela cd, and ampere a, and mole mole mole, that is equal to mol. In this manner, these standard units are being derived by the scientist and accordingly we can measure the fundamental and derived physical quantities. And during the measurement, whenever you are measuring one quantities, you remember, whenever you are measuring one quantity, suppose if you talk about the 5 kg, at the same time you get one number and another was the unit. So that is equal to 5 kg, one number will be coming and standard unit comes along with that a number. Then the measurement is said to be a complete one. So in this manner we can measure the fundamental physical quantities and derived physical quantities. In the next video I will discuss you more about that physical quantities. Thank you.